David Choe explored the scrapping of America's industrial cities and the booming trade their decay feeds into. This is his debrief.
The scrappers that we interviewed did not look at what they were doing as wrong. They were totally reckless and wild. We were on a shoot with one of the guys scrapping the building, and a police car, the sheriff came by and asked what we were doing, and he said, "Oh, nothing." And he just drove past and then continued to rip the door off the house. The scrapper named Dreadlock had been shot at and actually shot. He had been hit twice, been in prison, and continued to scrap. And the fact that they agreed to go on camera made it even more. I asked them off camera, I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, while we were on the shoot, he was telling us, "Yeah, this is exactly where I got shot at." And he's like, "It's easy money." You know, most of the stories we're covering, the people, they're like, "I'll go on camera if you make my voice sound like a robot or make it hip hop like Trill." The younger guy, Sean, breaking and entering, breaking into buildings, didn't even care to hide his face, blur his voice, any of that stuff. I said, "Look, you're a young man." He had just gotten out of jail. I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "No, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna scrap tonight and make $40. I'm gonna buy a video game with this." And I said, "Are you sure you wanna do this?" And he's like, I could give a fuck. He did not care. What are you gonna do about it? There's so much scrapping. It's so rampant that what, you're really gonna like come after me for stealing $40 worth of scrap? They're like vultures a little bit. Like, Detroit's dead. It's not like they were scrapping the houses and the businesses while the schools are closed. The people have moved out. Detroit is dead, and they're like vultures coming in and just picking off the bones. So the way most of the scrappers we talked to looked at it is, look, I could rob you, I could rape you, I could kill you. This is the lesser of all the evils. I'm scrapping. These are all the other horrible things I could do to make money, and I'm gonna do this. You know, I could rob your house right now while you're in it and take all your money. Or I could wait till you leave, you move to another city, your house is moldy and it's old and wet and no one's there, and I'm gonna steal the doorknobs off of it. It's the lesser of all the evils. My history as a vandal, of course I can relate to these guys. The threat of violence and crime turns me on. I'm probably not gonna be happy unless I die on one of these stories. I'm older now, I'm 37. If I was a young man, Sean's age, it's like a scavenger hunt. To live in a city where I know there's no people, like a sort of a zombie apocalypse, and I could just run around with my backpack with a hammer just knocking precious metals off of buildings, and knowing I could take it to a yard and make $100 a day, $40 a day, just basically treasure hunting. I can relate to that. I would definitely be doing it myself. Criminals like to justify all their behavior, I know, as someone who used to be a criminal. And pretty much every scrapper says, look, you could say whatever you want, this is a victimless crime, and I'm scrapping, which means I'm recycling, so I'm helping the environment. And there's some truth to that.